أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. This is the 7th chapter of the book In Search of Infinity. The title of the chapter is A Spark Caused the Fire. After working for a couple of years, I got an international opportunity and I moved abroad. My husband was still working in the subcontinent. A couple of months later, he too joined me abroad. Now the great task for him was to hunt for jobs. I was a techie, a software professional. There were lots of openings for techies. However, my husband was in management. He had to struggle a lot to find a good job. I think I should let him narrate his story. He will tell you what happened next. Well, she's right. There were very few openings for my career roles. I was job hunting for almost 3 months and still couldn't get a solid break. I had lots of free time on my hand. So I started listening to Islamic lectures online. A series of 30 plus lectures about the Holy Quran on the internet changed my perspective about the Holy Quran and brought me much, much closer to Quran. I would spend a major part of my day reading and trying to understand the Holy Quran. There was another series of 35 plus lectures about Imam Ali alayhi salam. It changed my perspective towards Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam and opened my eyes towards his predicaments after the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. On the other hand, I was job hunting desperately. I used to get called for the interviews, but after that, they would never come back to me. It was a very difficult time. I started speaking to the existing expats there. They said, since you do not have any international experience and you do not have a residency permit here, just take up any job here. Anything that is even as little as $1,000 per month. While my previous job in the subcontinent paid much more than that, I continued listening to Islamic lectures and continued looking for jobs. I gave an interview at an international consulting firm and did not hear from them for a long time. It was only after the New Year holidays that they called me up for the final interview. They asked me, how much are you expecting? I gave them an exorbitant figure. They agreed to it and called me to collect the appointment letter. I went to collect the appointment letter and told them, before I take the appointment letter, I have 3 conditions. If you agree to them, then you can give me the appointment letter. Else, I'm okay not taking the job. 1, I will not shave my beard. 2, I will not shake hands with women employees because they're na-mahram. So I will not shake my hands with women employees either at the office or at the client's place. And 3, when it's time for salat, I will go and offer salat. They said, welcome aboard. When I spoke to some of the guys there who had been working for 5 plus years and have been citizens there, they couldn't believe the salary I was drawing. I remember, since we got married, my wife had a special corner for the charity programs. With whatever little salary we earned, right at the beginning, we started sponsoring children's education. We started with 2 kids, and in less than 2 years, we were sponsoring almost 15 kids for their education. The number slowly grew from 15 to 50 kids. Then we moved abroad and started raising funds, and soon we were sponsoring more than 215 kids, ranging from kindergarten to engineering college. Right from the early years of our job, we did 2 things differently than others. Most people I knew would first pay their bills, expenses, groceries, etc., and then with whatever money left, they planned their savings and investments. However, my wife and I would first set a fixed amount as an investment every month. And then with whatever money we had left, we managed our expenses. We were saving and investing more than 60% of our salaries right from the early years. This was also another reason why we could support so many kids for their education. The Islamic lectures we were listening to had a great impact on our approach to life. Soon I was spending a few hours a day with Quran. I wanted to know more, so I asked someone to introduce a book that could give me a better insight into the Holy Quran. And he introduced Tafsir al-Mizan of Allama Tabatabai to me. And what a book it is. It changed our life completely. The other thing that impacted our life dramatically was the local community there. They truly practiced the Islam of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and not the Islam of Rasm or Rusumat that we saw back home. They would go out of their way to help us in all possible ways. These classes, the online lectures, and the Al-Mizan had set our hearts on fire. We were extremely restless. We felt something is missing from our lives. We felt there is so much to religion which we do not know, which a lot of people back home do not know. We should be telling them about it. We realized that we got it all wrong. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we knew was not the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of Islam. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we worship is not the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the one that Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to worship. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we knew was the strict, punishing, vengeful one, while the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of Islam is benevolent, merciful, and just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was always showering the believers with mercy unless they go astray and commit greater sins. Inshallah, we will cover the rest of the content in the next chapter. Until then, Iltimas dua, Khuda Hafiz.